Thoughts on the game? I thought we had a rough one tonight. I thought we looked a little rusty, particularly at the offensive end. I thought we didn't really have a lot of rhythm. Credit to Adelaide for taking that away from us. But, when you're taking it out of the basket and a lot, then, shit, you're going to be a little clunky in your half-court set. So we needed to make a stand. They shot the ball particularly well, I thought, from mid-range. Obviously, we want to take their presence off the rim and take away heat from the three-point line. I don't think we put enough side pressure on those mid-range shots, and they shot the ball particularly well from that area. For us, I thought we had an extraordinarily rough night shooting. We left a lot of points at the free throw line. Some really good looks from behind the arc early, and those are shots that I expect our team to make. And we've got a little bit of work to do.
Did you think the team got a bit put off defensively when you suddenly have Johnson go out of the game and Giddy come in, and the sort of change-ups there? Because Giddy seemed to get to some good spots in those two overtime.
He's a good player. No, I don't think it affected us from that standpoint. I thought Josh has made some really good plays, as did Brendan Tees. I thought he was amazing down the stretch. Yeah. That's why you carry veterans at the end of the bench, because you put them in big moments like that, and you expect them to perform, and Teasy did. So, I'm not gonna say that was a reason for it. Josh is a good player and did some wonderful things tonight, and look forward to watching his career when he gets the hell out of the NBL.
Simon, can you just talk about the impact of Yannick Wetzel tonight on debut for your club?
Yannick.
Yeah, I thought Yanni was, from an offensive standpoint, he was obviously fairly productive. I'm not sure on his numbers. Were they 24, 10? They read pretty well. He was pretty efficient too. I thought defensively maybe a little bit disappointing early in the game. I thought that pick and roll defence, he maybe played a little bit deep, and maybe didn't put as much pressure as we could have on those guys coming off. But the guy in his first professional game, and he's going to be a hell of a player. I know there's a lot of love for the next stars and all that, but throw his name in the ring for Rookie of the Year as well. He's going to be right there. And he's just scratching the surface. He's a kid who came late to the game. He got beautiful feet, really, really good feet, changed the direction. Obviously, if you're watching the game, you'd see his speed in the open court. We didn't quite get advantage of that tonight as much as we would have liked, but we did see glimpses of it. So, he's a great kid, very coachable, going to do wonderful things. I think he's another guy in the NBL who we'll see at the next level at some stage.
Mitch, just want to know your thoughts on how the overtime played out, and also, what did you see from Giddy out there? You've been a young guy in the league before. What did you see from him in those pressure situations?
I think the first overtime we had a real chance to kind of win the game. We got an O board. We had a chance to put it back in. We had second chance shots and opportunities. We missed a couple good looks, but the second overtime, I just thought, piggybacking off Coach Teasy came in, and I said after the game to him, I was like, that's why you're here. He made two really big mid-range shots and plays, and he hadn't touched the ball for probably 2.5 hours. That's why he's there. That's why he's a great player. That's why he's still around, and enough people give him enough shit, but that's why he's there, because he's a winner. So, good on him, good on them for closing out that game. But as for Josh, he's a very big, very strong, versatile guard that can play both sides, can finish around the paint, is a good distributor. A few years of development, not just in Australia, but when he gets to the next level, he's going to be a hell of a player. He got the ball in good spots. He made some tough plays over good wall-up defense, and sometimes you just live with that. We missed a lot of really open looks from extremely good shooters, and they made some pretty tough middies over contested defense. So over the course of a year, I'll take that conversation over any other one. So it is what it is.
And Simon, how tough was it having Ben Moore in foul trouble early? Because it seemed to mess around the rotation at least for a little bit there.
Yeah, no, I did. It's not the first time we've seen a big man come into our league and struggle with the tightness on some of the calling. We've had discussions with him on certain aspects of the game, just trying to prepare him. Making sure we're super still on screens, reaching over the back on rebounds. I don't think he got any offensive fouls, but I think he's just reaching in fouls is something that Creaky spends a lot of time at practice talking to him about as well. So we just got to make sure that message gets through. He's a wonderful player. I'm kind of disappointed for everybody that they didn't get to see the best of him tonight, because I feel like he's going to be one of the elite players in the league. And it was kind of a disappointing start to his NBL career, but we've seen enough to know that there's going to be some really good days ahead for Ben.
Simon, first off, we had it today, Peter, so it took a little time to get into the game from what we could gather, but in the fourth quarter, and particularly those two overtimes, he was really good for you. Finished with 11 assists, 18 points. What was your impression of that first look at him at NBL level?
I think he's a better player than what he showed tonight, to be honest. Defensively, he was wonderful, put a lot of pressure. I mean, you go through the numbers, and there's a lot to like from a numbers perspective. We had 13 turnovers. They had 9. They had 19, I think. We had more offensive boards, but there's a lot of things that worked in our favour, and I thought Kiefer helped us with that, and I thought he set a tone at the defensive end. I thought our pick and roll defence was poor, and that's disappointing because we put a lot of time into it. I thought Kiefer's. You might mistaken him for maybe not being as productive early because he's setting the table for others. We had some really good looks in that first quarter, and a lot of those were on the back of Kiefer and the work he did. Unfortunately, those 11 assists probably could have been around 15, 16. But he's going to be another guy that just gets better and better in this league. He's a high-level player. Obviously, he's a Euro League pedigree. He's going to, we just got to get him involved in the group a little bit more in regards to setting us up and down the stretch of that game. I know you mentioned you thought he was good. He had his moments, but I also feel like his aggressiveness, sometimes he's setting the table a little too much. We can get him on the rim and creating for himself at times as too.
Hey Coach, I just wanted to know your thoughts on Yanni Wetzel on both ends. Going up against Isaac Humphries and DJ, and then protecting the paint really well on the other end. What are your thoughts on his first NBL game?
Yanni had a very efficient offensive game. Obviously, his work on the boards was great. I feel like it was both ends. I feel like he was getting tip-ins or second shots at the rim as well. I'd have to check the stats on what he did there, but it felt like he was pretty active on the O boards. I felt like early in the game maybe his pick and roll defense could have been at a higher level, but it's something we'll work with. He's a wonderful kid. He's going to be a great player in this league.
Oh, Mitch, it seemed like a tough or a quiet night for guys like Ruben and Cam Glidden. How can you get those guys more involved so they can be huge pieces of your team?
I don't think necessarily Cam had a quiet night. I think he just missed open looks. I mean, there was a number of times I know on those short actions I'm pitch it out straight to him, and someone's helping so heavily in the paint to try and protect that rim from my slip on my roll or my attack, and it's hitting him right in the breadbasket, or he's in rhythm and he's open. I'm going to back him at every single player in the league over the course of a season to make more than anyone else. I tell him that every day. We all want that from him. We all tell him and demand that from him as well. So we know he's going to make those shots consistently. Tonight they just didn't fall in as much. That's basketball. That's just how it goes sometimes. As for Rubes, I just think, finding a little bit of flow with him, putting him in positions to maybe handle the rock a little bit, and putting Kiefer off the ball or Kizza or, even Gibbo, putting them off the ball if they're in the point guard position, letting Rubes run that action a little bit, get downhill with some guard-to-guard action. When we go second side action into punch or smash, we've got a lot of opportunity for him to be playing downhill, creating, because he's a great creator. He's a great talent. He's a great guy, and he works hard both ends of the court. And we trust him. So 1 of 9. I'd like him to be continue to shoot. Between 9, 10, 15 attempts. How he feels is how he wanted to play. I just think he had a bit of a quiet one tonight, but we know with what we've seen that he's going to continue to be a great player for us, night in, night out.